Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs. Right, we'll just jump straight in. Audio commentary part 2. If you haven't seen part 1 already, go and watch it.
We're coming with you. Yeah.
So, this first scene here was one of the reasons I decided not to have it in its original 3 parts, but to have it as one big, long film. Because as an opening to an episode 2, it's a bit of a goes nowhere, and if I'm honest, I feel like this scene goes on a tad too long, and there could have been a few edits to make it better, but yeah, it is what it is. The camera work as well isn't as polished, because we were all getting tired after being there for however long filming all these indoor scenes, and the alarm and the fuse and everything went off, and in this scene you can hear in the background really faint beeping, so... Another thing to mention with this scene was we accidentally smashed a picture as well. And yeah, it was going so well, and this is still first day of filming as I explained in part 1. But yeah, we were all tired, it was very warm, just couldn't be bothered really, and I think that's where it falls down a little. It could have gone a bit better, but I don't know, I think this is the only relative low point of the thing. Everything else I'd say I'm really happy with.
Right.
Now here you spot a mistake. The biscuit and Gideon's arm are there because the actor of Gideon was being a fool. Speaking of, there's the deafening scream.
So what happened to your face?
With this, we were originally going to have like an episode explaining how Hertz and Torchwood and everything get together, but in the end we hadn't got time. I was determined to get this film out by the end of summer, so just went with it and said, right, you can explain it in a few throwaway lines in this scene, and yeah. Also, I apologise for the extensive use of Team Gang Fam. Yeah, a thing we did with it as well is trying to take the things Chibnall did that people don't really like and switch them up into something that would work better for Doctor Who, in our opinion. For example, these Team Gang Fan bits, they're probably equally as cringy, but the using chav music and like whatever it is music to save the day, Arachnids in the UK went horribly, whereas we used it as a sort of throwaway thing in the Sea Devil episode, which, yeah, I think it worked quite well. Also, you notice there, the Sonic just snapped in his hand, which is why Sam looks at the camera. Samuel. Now, those of you who are observant will notice that this is the location for The Lost Part 1.
You have no business here.
Hello, I'm the Doctor. I come in peace, and I do not wish to become pieces.
Go away, or I'm not welcome here.
However, this isn't filmed in November, this is filmed in midsummer, so it's a lot of greenery and niceness. But, as I said, part 1, this location is now pretty much dead, because they're building random things there.
Never cat, and in this case, we're the cat. Well done, very positive.
Nice little bit of interaction there, and awkward silence. The second only line from number 7. Hooray, we're at the place infested with hundreds of crows. Now, this location was found only a few days before by me and the actor of Gideon, and we thought, you know what, this will fit perfectly, and yeah. You can also, as another bit of trivia, notice that Blue Peter is a different actor and now has a blonde man bun, because the original actor of Blue Peter couldn't make that day of filming, so we just had to switch him up at the last minute. You can't really tell, but yeah. Another thing you can notice about these scenes, which Nathan, the actor of The Matrix, pointed out to me, the amount of times in this series the problem could be solved if they just looked at the people behind them. Yeah, anyway, actually, come to think of it, here's a "they're behind you" counter, go! Also, another bit of a oopsie is these Silurians slash... Yeah, actually, there's two problems here. We address these as Silurians, yet it's established in the other episodes that these are the Sea Devils. Don't ask me why that happened, but yeah. Also, they're wearing the Omega boiler suits with an Omega symbol on the back. Whoops. So, this little Blue Peter death bit was planned from, like, 2 days before filming, because, one, we needed a way to write Blue Peter out so we could have the actor of Blue Peter, Mohammed, to play Omega, because, yeah, it just becomes too confusing, and also it shows the power of the box. Also here, the little bit of character development for Gideon. He's not being so narcissistic and self-centered, he's actually putting himself forward in the most camp way possible. Now, we're on to the Cyberman Scene thingy-majiggy. This was also filmed on day 2 in very, very hot weather. Yes, the abandoned house, which I originally discovered. I'll put on screen now when I originally saw the house, and now it's just vandalised, spray paint, probably a drug den, so rip.
So, I've been walking for quite a while. What is this? Just come across this place. And I'm really creeped out, but look how awesome that is. That would be like the best filming location for the fan series ever. It's literally... What is it? This is actually quite scary.
You don't say. Would you shut up? Guys.
This scene also originally went on longer, but we ended up just not filming it. I think I don't even remember how. Like, yeah, we must have missed a page out or something. They originally had, like, trying to sing campfire songs, and yeah. In a way, I think I might have cut it anyway, because it's not the best of scenes and it was filler, but yeah. And another, he's behind you. This was also not meant to happen, but in the shot the axe just broke, so we ran with it and went, yeah, use the stick. What else can you do in that situation? He was originally going to cut off the arm, and then, yeah, I think that worked. It was a nice little moment of banter.
That was bantering. I am totally against bantering. This is banter. I'm against banter.
Yes, but they're chasing us slowly.
Here's the quote from Smile. If there's chasing us slowly, that means there's a reason they don't have to run. And we're back. Boom. This music here is from, I can't remember which, season 18 somewhere, Peter Davison. And yeah, I really liked the music and thought instantly, right, that's going in the film somewhere. And I think this scene fits perfectly with the tone and little thingies of the music. It's also edited for the sections. I don't know terms in musicology.
Correction. There's only 7/8 books in 2019.
What?
This is where you can see the little bit of nerdiness coming out, the amount of references to things like Harry Potter or whatever. And as someone pointed out in the live chat, I can't remember who, if I can find your name I'll put you on screen, they said, the universe is ending and you guys stand around to have a conversation about Harry Potter, which is a very valid point. And here we go, Jadoon. Another interesting bit about this Jadoon stuff, there was originally going to be a whole green screen shadow proclamation, oh no, we need this, blah 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 blah, but it didn't really add anything and there was no goal of it, it didn't get anywhere, so I decided to cut it, which is why this Jadoon feels a little bit misplaced, but I think it was a nice cameo to have a Jadoon there, even if it does feel a tiny bit pointless.
I'll find that box. Oh, it's a Jadoon!
Now, my editing break of relatively little CGI is soon coming to an end. Well, actually, this scene doesn't have too much, just has quite a bit of fire and smoke and explosions and stuff. Also, this shot coming up now, this was, yeah, that was all grass, and I had to edit it, because I went back 4 weeks later. I'll put the original picture on screen now. I had to edit it to look like mud to have the meteor crash, because we never actually filmed that shot on the day. But yeah, there we go. Omega on a stepladder. And questionable CGI fire. This also, sorry Artie, here's the original Child Project clip.
Stop it! Stop! You don't have to kill anyone else! Just leave me and my family alone!
Yeah, so now you know where that reference comes from.
Please stop! You don't have to do this! I'm putting the gun down! I'm putting the gun down! I put the gun down! I put it down! You don't have to kill anyone else!
You pathetic idiot.
Now, the battle. Ouch. Poor hurts. Anyway, this battle, you can probably notice, it was filmed across about 4 different days on random bits. We'd go to that location in the middle of filming and just film everybody's little bits of the battle. And there's a few costume changes. Yeah, I think I matched all the lighting okay. Yeah, this is an on-the-day thing as well. We just ripped off Endgame with the little female, oh yeah, power, women power, yeah. Also, because this was really warm weather, it's like, I cannot thank everyone enough for actually being willing, especially Mohammed, standing on that stepladder, cloak, like 4 layers of cloak and latex masks and stuff, and then all of us running around, big scarves, big coats, these weird alien thingies. But yeah, I think this is one thing I might change as well, having the battle be a bit better. Like, we were just tired at it. I think that's a lot of the faults of this is down to tiredness. But it turned out okay, and yeah, it is what it is. Now, we're on to the Matrix scene. This is when we got up at like 5:30 in the morning on one of the longest days of the year, because, as you'll see in a minute, we wanted the sunlight to show the contrast of light and dark, because when the Matrix starts speaking about, oh, Omega, blah, 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 he's in shadow with the light behind him, showing there's still a little bit of hope. How clever, cinematicness. Boom. Also, if you're observant, you'll notice I had an odd haircut at this point, tried to make it look longer, and it just sort of went into a weird thing. This is the shot that is Boy. As he talks about darkness, cold, fire, it goes into the lens flare, the music builds up. This is one of the things, because me and Nathan were the writers for the majority of this series. Me and the Matrix had decided very early on, like, when we were like 13, that the line for when the Matrix betrays the Doctor, because this has been planned for years and years, is going to be, and that's the difference between us, and it fits into this perfectly. And I think, yeah, it turns out really well, and it's quite an emotional scene.
Over here, you can show me the way and we can stop this right now. I don't want this to go on any longer. Well, then that's the difference between us.
Anyway, that wraps up today's episode of the audio commentary. 1 part left, coming out sometime in the near future. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. Pow.